What's up, gamers? Welcome to another video. In this one, we got the TWAB for today. As we can see based on this picture here, it's definitely Gambit related, which is interesting to me. I think Gambit does need a rework or just some kind of thing to freshen it up or make it good, I guess. So I'm interested to see what they have in store for us. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so this week at Bungie, we are but days away from the launch of Witch Queen. That we are. We're finally here, the last TWAB before the Witch Queen. Over the last few weeks, we've been touching on new systems arriving on February 22nd, picking through some quality of life changes for the rituals you engage with, and even spending some time with the team in a full-length Vidoc to set the stage for what's coming. We have a few topics left to cover, but only a few days stand between you and the next chapter of Destiny 2. Season of the Lost is wrapping up this week. No better way with the final mission to tee up our next expansion. Have you played through it yet? No? Well, get in there. We know the Witch Queen is coming, but this is a fun close to the season that you won't want to miss. As a note, the team has been investigating a few issues with the activity since it went live. You may need to play it a few times for the quest to complete, and we ask that if you're in matchmaking, please don't skip the cutscene. Outside of that, we also have an exotic ship to cap off the season that we'll be distributing at a later date to players who own Season of the Lost. Stay tuned for updates. I was thinking there's going to be some kind of reward for the quest. I never got one when I completed it, so it's good to see that they're actually going to be giving us one eventually. I would have liked them to actually show us what it would have been, but but it is what it is. If you've completed the mission and are already reading this TWAB, I'd assume you'd gobble up every bit of information you can before release. Have you seen the launch trailer yet? I hope so. If not, let's take a moment to roll the tape and listen to some slick music. If you'd still like to go in completely spoiler-free, this is your final warning. I'm not going to go in because I already saw this, so I don't think it's really needed. And also, save some spoilers for those who don't want to see it. Truth be told, I've been replaying this trailer in my head for the last week or so. What does it all mean? Well, we'll all find out next week when the expansion goes live. If you're looking for just a little more video content to watch, we also released a fun mini Vidoc exploring the creation of glaives, the new weapon type coming to Destiny 2 with the Witch Queen. Okay. So, here is the video about the glaive. If you haven't seen it, just kind of the inner workings of the glaive. It's pretty cool. Take a look if you're interested. So, it's always a pleasure to get with the team out to talk with their beautiful creations. I've said it before, but they really do make magic out of math. Multiple teams collaborating through conversation, code, and ridiculous amounts of talent to create the weapons and worlds and that you enjoy in Destiny 2. Before our final TWAB before launching, we have a few goodies in store. The team will be running us through some upcoming changes and tuning to Gambit. We'll take a quick glance through patch notes for a final preview, an updated Twitch emblem coming next week, and a fun Steel Series partnership to talk through. Let's get to it. I really need to find another way to transition from TWAB intros, don't I? It doesn't matter. Anyway. All right. Time for Gambit. Drifter's hungry. No, not for Hive, but for the spotlight. Well, maybe some Hive too. But let's focus on gameplay. As we continue to improve and iterate on the rituals of Destiny 2, Gambit is taking center stage. This isn't a teardown and rebuilding of an existing mode, but a moment for our teams to realign on goals and how we're served up the goods to our players. I think this is already good to start off because I think the thing with Gambit is not necessarily the core gameplay. I think that is sound. The problems that I have with it is the heavy economy is absolutely ridiculous. So if you have an invader invade you and one of your teammates has a sleeper shot or Eyes of Tomorrow, they're dead instantly, and there's nothing they can do about it. So in my opinion, I think the biggest drawback to Gambit is in fact the heavy economy. It's the same thing for people invading. They just use heavies or whatever and just wipe the team. It takes no skill. It's very easy. So a few months back, the development team walked through our first ritual update focused on Trials of Osiris. When you look at it, there weren't numerous changes, but targeted pieces of tuning and adjustments to push a healthier experience. Engram focusing and Trials ranks were introduced to help players earn that sweet piece of loot they've always wanted, even if they weren't winning any matches. Jesus. Minor changes to passages and matchmaking were made to help get more players into Trials. Freelance and labs weekends continue as we gather valuable data to inform the future of the mode. At the end of the day, Trials is still elimination and Saint is still a badass. With Gambit or any mode we may update in the future, you can expect a similar approach. Today, Primeval Principal designer Alan Blaine will be joining us to break down our goals for Gambit and what changes the team is making to get us where we want to be. Alan, when we added Gambit back in Forsaken in the fall of 2018, was it really 3.5 years ago? Damn, that is a long time. We are closing a gap in Destiny Pursuits. We had lots of places in the game to shoot aliens in the face or juice box, and we had places where you could face off against other Guardians, but we had no place where you could face off against other Guardians by shooting aliens in the face. Fundamentally, Gambit is a PvE firefight mode culminating in a race to kill the boss first. Meanwhile, you can throw small and large roadblocks in front of the other teams racing you, or be the roadblock by invading opponents. Powered up and loaded for Bear. Later that year, we added Gambit Prime, a souped-up Gambit with armor-based player roles, and then it really didn't change much for a couple of years. With Beyond Light, we streamlined both versions into what Gambit is today, combining some of the best parts of the original Gambit and Gambit Prime without attempting to transform the mode, or address much of the feedback Gambit had generated over the years. Over the last few months, we've taken a pass on Gambit to address said feedback and realign the mode with many of its original goals. Ultimately, we believe it is important that in Gambit, you can showcase both your skill at fighting in Destiny and the variety and focus of your arsenal. It should be just as inherently fun and rewarding to shoot aliens in the face in Gambit as it is elsewhere. A good invader should be able to turn the tide of a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member. A good invader does not have to mean a PvP god loaded up with the best tracking / one-hit kill weaponry. Players defending against invaders should have ample tools to fight invaders without worrying about using up ammunition dealing with tougher enemies, and players should have methods for recovering from a devastating invade. It should be rare that a match is out of your hands as a player or that an outcome is preordained early in the match. Working together with your team to overcome tough enemies, the Primeval, a high-value target, or an invader should feel as gratifying as a hard nightfall. While we don't always hit those marks, Gambit has a healthy and stable population. Ultimately, we want to make Gambit more appealing to a wider audience by addressing points of player feedback and improving upon what exists, without changing the core nature of the mode. Our hope is that this leads to more players engaging for longer. Upcoming changes fall into 5 categories: core activity, ammo economy, primeval tuning, invasions, and rewards. Okay, we're going to get right into it. That was a lot to dissect. I already like what they're coming with, like just showing us. Like they're talking about primeval tuning, that invasion issue I was talking about, the ammo economy, which I think is the biggest problem with Gambit. And so glad that they're going to be addressing those right now. Something I wish they would talk about bringing back is the specific armor classes. I liked the Invader, the Sentry, I think one was called, the Collector, like those things. Those were fun. I really enjoyed those. So I would like to see those come back. I doubt they're ever going to come back. But it was just another level of like, I grinded all this to get this armor set, and so I'm rewarded for it for destroying you in Gambit Prime. Having the full Invader set was a lot of fun, just sitting at the bank, sucking them, and then having that overshield when I go in, locking the bank when I'm in. It's great. I loved Gambit Prime. So, core activity changes. These changes are all about enhancing teamwork or making the mode easier to play and understand. Freelance node added. We think it's important that players feel like they always have a chance at winning, and we see over and over again that full stacks of friends or clanmates have a significant advantage over groups of solo match-made opponents. The modes we have added freelance nodes to, Iron Banner, Glory, and Trials, all feel like they end up with more balanced matches more often, even as they increase and split the number of matchmaking pools. We are investigating ways to remove the need for freelance nodes that split the population, and hope to have something for you later this year. In the meantime, the ability to queue for Gambit Freelance should be very useful. It very much will be. I'm glad they're adding that. Rotating seasonal selection of curated encounters starting in Season 16. In Classic Gambit/Prime, you get a randomly selected encounter from a list of 3 for each enemy race on each map. And Beyond Light, due to production issues, we were only able to bring one of the 3 variations forward into the new activity. Those issues have been fixed, and we are now bringing the missing variations forward. Playing with the single variation for race/map for a year led us to an interesting observation. It's fun to know that Hive on Pacifica means, oh god, those shriekers, and to learn the spawns and master them over time. Maybe not interesting for an entire year, but we think it will be interesting to have a set rotation of spawns for a season, and over those 3 months, really master each encounter. So no more Shriekers on Pacifica for now, but they will be back later in the year. That's an interesting way to do it, having predetermined rotations per season. I feel like you're not going to notice that very much, honestly, but I get what they're saying. Those Shriekers on Pacifica were insane. Were so dumb. So no more shriek. Oh yeah, respawn points added to all fronts, sections of the maps where enemies would cycle in or out. It can be frustrating to always have to run all the way from the backfield after spawning before you are able to help teammates, fight the invader, collect drop motes, etc. It can also be very frustrating as an invader to always spawn at the same location on the same map multiple times in a row, or have the invader camp the entrance to avoid confrontation. Where respawn points spread throughout fronts should help you get back into the action faster and provide for less predictable spawn points during invasions. That is super good. I really like that they're doing that because, yeah, it would be so easy. Like, if I get 3 kills as an invader, I know exactly where you're going to be. You're always going to be in the back of the map because that's where you're spawning. Or if I just get 2, 3, it doesn't matter. If you're dead and I know you're about to respawn, I'm always going to go to the back of the map because I know that's where you're spawning. And then I just get a free kill, get the army of 1, and I'm out. So that's super, super, super good. Players always drop half the motes they were carrying when they are defeated. This is huge. These can be picked up by anyone, including invaders. Invaders can also drop more motes now. This makes recovering from a ruthless invader or bad luck fighting enemies a little easier. This is so much better. You know how many times my teammates died with 15, but now seeing that we're going to get 7 or 8 after they die, that's so massive, dude. Players can be revived by other players 2 seconds earlier, and auto respawn is delayed 2 seconds. We want to emphasize and reward teamwork as much as possible. Bringing your teammate back and saving them a run now is even easier. This change would also reduce the frustrating moments of teammates being forced to respawn as you're halfway through the revive interact. When your teammate dies and you run to grab their drop mode, stop for a second and revive them, will ya? That's super nice too. That they're right too, by the way. Like, you're about to revive them and then it auto spawns them. So all shields have increased resistance to non-matching damage types. While not as severe as match game resistance in Nightfalls, we want a way to promote build crafting and teamwork. Rules of Gambit node added to the launch screen, and numerous Gambit-specific hints have been added to the load screen. Gambit can be a bit opaque to newcomers. This should give them a leg up. That's good for new players, the rules of Gambit. Blockers draining in the bank. While we don't do any drastic adjustments here, we do have a few tweaks we think will increase interesting decisions both when sending and battling blockers, and hopefully remove the feeling of helplessness as you pour ammo into 3 knights as all of your motes drain away. 10 mote Phalanx blocker has its health boosted a bit. While they are a good positional challenge with their shield and knockback, we felt like they weren't quite tough enough for their mote most comparing to the knight, so we increased their health. 15 mote knight blocker gains a stasis attack. We originally planned to pull its health down some as we felt it was a little too beef for 15 motes, but with the ammo changes below, we didn't find the current health onerous in playtesting. We did think they could be more tactically interesting with the stasis attack without necessarily making them more deadly or harder to kill. Mote drain from multiple blockers continues even if the opposing team is in Primeval phase. This will help the team that is behind get to the Primeval a little quicker. It's never felt great to send over 4 blockers only to have the enemy team ignore them, all while still being severely behind. This also gives the team in the lead a bit more incentive to kill blockers during their Primeval phase. I don't understand what that means. So, like, if I have the Primeval and they put like 2 blockers in and it starts draining our motes, does that mean the Primeval will go away? Is that what they're trying to say? I don't know. Mote drain is positive of players near the bank and engaging blockers. It never feels great to have your motes draining away while you pour primary ammo into 3 taken knights. That's very true. I'm glad they're doing that. Ammo economy. Our goal for these changes is to make a more predictable and equal baseline of special and heavy ammo among all players. We will be watching both feedback and analytics around weapon gain and usage rates, and will continue to make tweaks if these aren't enough to make fair change at matches. When completing a front, A chest containing a small amount of special and heavy ammo spawns in the middle of the front and can be looted once by each player. It times out 20 seconds after initial interact, so you still can't dilly-dally. Killing a high-value target spawns 1 normal heavy brick for each player. During the Primeval phase, ammo chests spawn in one of the fronts every 60 seconds. This replaces the regular front ammo chests, but you still need to find the time to go grab it. Limited special and heavy ammo bricks to only spawn from enemies if you have finder mods equipped. Other ammo, exotics, and perks like Aeon Colt still work. Okay. The ammo economy seems like we're going to get even more ammo, which kind of worries me because that was my main problem with being an invader. You just get nuked instantly from like a heavy when you go in. So giving them more heavy, I don't think solves that issue. We'll see. We'll see what they have in store, but that seems a little ridiculous. I don't know. But I think overall, like when you get to the prime, like dude, at the same time, like it's like double edged, right? Because sometimes you'll have a ton of heavy, and then you just nuke the invader and all the blockers with your heavy. You don't even care. But time when you get to the primeval, you have none, so you can't really help with deeps. So I still think that this is going to be pretty nice overall. But I'm actually really interested to see what it has to, or how it plays. The Primeval Fight. The Primeval Fight is the ultimate challenge of Gambit. It should feel like an epic boss fight and be long enough for the opposing team to get some invades to counter strong DPS. It should have more to do than simply burning the boss as quickly as possible and turn in plays to kill envoys every once in a while. Its mechanics shouldn't be complex, but should require about as much tactical play as a high-end strike boss. Okay, that makes sense. Primeval Health and Slayer stack bonus retuned. Burning the boss after 3 rounds of envoys should be easy, just as easy as it is now, but burning him after just 1 or 2 rounds should be significantly more work. Envoys now spawn with friends out in the fronts rather than in the bank area. They have reduced health but no longer affected by Slayer stacks and have varied elemental shields. Killing the envoys to get Slayer stacks will require movement, dealing with the envoys' protectors, and dealing with their elemental shields. Envoys put an invulnerability shield on Primeval. You must kill them both to remove it and damage the Primeval, forcing your team to go out and invade. Envoys respawn at 30% of the Primeval damage done. This increases by 10% every envoy respawn, and envoys stop spawning after the 5th spawn. The Primeval Servitor boss is removed since its custom shield mechanics conflicted with the new mechanics. The Malfeasance quest starts on the first Primeval kill. Okay. So that's pretty good changes. I'm not going to lie. Because, like, how many times would you just go in and, like, you would know because, like, on your team, you'd either have a Bonk Titan or a Yeet Chest Piece Titan on your team. One of the two. Titans, here's the thing. This is the truth in Gambit. Titans rule Gambit. They don't rule anything else, but they rule Gambit. It's like how Hunters... It's like this. Titans rule Gambit. Warlocks run PvE like Vanguard. And Hunters run PvP. So now that kind of nerfs the Bonk build a little bit. I mean, you could probably still chunk them down to 30 and then kill the 2 Primevals and then chunk them again. It probably won't be... It'll be slower to kill the boss, but it'll give people more of a fighting chance. So that's definitely a plus. With the tuning changes above, the modes phase is significantly quicker and the Primeval phase longer. You should expect matches to be just as long as they are now, but we will be watching to make sure they aren't too short or too long. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting because, like, the thing with Gambit is, like, the matches are fairly quick most of the time, so that's actually huge to see what they're doing now. Super good to see. With the tuning changes above, the modes phase is significant. Oh, I read that. My fault. Invasions. As we said above, a good invader should be able to turn the tide of a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member. We don't want a single good invader to completely dominate match outcome, and they certainly can right now. However, we still want a good invader to be able to delay a strong PvE team from finishing off the Primeval. Level advantage is now disabled for invader PvP. It has actually been like this since the start of Beyond Light. Surprise! I did not know that. That's insane. Good that that's gone. I didn't even know it was on, so I don't know why you would even add it in the first place, but it is what it is. One of the moat phase invasions has been removed. Invasions now trigger at 40 and 80 moat thresholds. Primeval phase invasions are unchanged. Invasions can no longer be saved up. Use it or lose it, pal. I like that actually, because like you would just have a team like stack a ton of them, and then like when they're on Primeval, they invade you to fuck you over so that you don't get to invade us. Like it's a lot. It's a whole thing. Invader no longer can see how many moats enemy players are carrying, and enemy nameplates fade out when the invader is aiming down their sights. You can still see players through walls, just not while you're engaging your rocket tracking or using your sniper zoom. We found a bug with how the Primeval heal effect has been applied, which, depending on the sequence and timing of kills, would heal the Primeval for somewhere between 5 and 35%. We fixed it, and now invader kills heal the Primeval for exactly 27% every time. This sounds like a lot, but it's actually less than the optimal amount prior. We will be watching feedback and analytics very closely on this one, and will retune as necessary. These are so far really good changes, especially for this. Again, not really talking about heavy economy while like in terms of like invading. Like if I invade and I can still get like one shot from a rocket or a sleeper. I don't know really how you could fix that. I don't even think it is fixable, but I think the changes that they're doing to the core gameplay might actually make it a lot better and a lot more fun. So we'll see. Rewards. Gambit is the second of core rituals after Trials of Osiris to get comprehensive engram focusing options. Focusing. You can focus the Gambit engram into either Gambit Armor or Gambit Weapons for 10k Glimmer and 50 Legendary Shards. Gambit Weapons include Crowd Pleaser, Bottom Dollar, Trinary System, Borrow Time, and Servant Leader. Brand new Gambit Weapons are drop only for a single season and are then available for focusing. We expect to expand Drifter's focusing options further during upcoming seasons. Other Drifter changes, Bygones, Trust, Bad Omens have been removed from the vendor. Wah, 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 wah. Rest in peace, the Bygones, Trust, and Bad Omens. Hopefully, if you want them, grab them now. End match drops. There is a Gambit Memento for weapon crafting that can drop after any match. Older Gambit shaders now have a small chance of dropping at the end of each match. Primeval Servitor cosmetic drops can now drop at the end of any match. The Furtive Shell Ghost can now drop at the end of any match. Yes, you can expect more rituals to get this treatment throughout the year, but we do not currently have any specific dates to share just yet. Stay tuned. The future in Gambit Labs. There are a few things eagle-eyed readers might notice are missing from the above. Don't fret, we do have a timeline for future changes. The daily Gambit objectives are generally fine, but some of the repeatable bounties have some onerous completion requirements. We are taking a pass on these though they won't all come at once. Sometime this season, we will be adjusting the completion amounts of most Gambit repeatable bounties. Weapon kills drop from 25 to 15, melee and grenade kills from 25 to 5, and super kills from 15 to 10. In Season 17, we will be making additional tuning changes as well as adding 3 new bounties. Throughout the year, we will also be adding bounties specific to Light 3.0 updates. Gambit Labs Invasion Edition. We also have a couple of Gambit Labs that play with some of the core invasion concepts. These will run for 1 week each and take over the base Gambit nodes. Invasion Swap. This lab variation plays around with who gets to benefit from triggered invasions. During modes phase, instead of opening your own invasion portal at 40 and 80, you instead open your opponent's invasion portal. We expect this to completely disrupt the accepted meta for how and when to deposit and invade. We're looking forward to seeing the clever strategies and counter strategies you will develop. Moat Thief. Fundamentally, the original concept of the invader was Guardian as taken terror, overpowered and dangerous, something new to have to fight. While that is very compelling, we don't believe it is the only compelling invader fantasy. We believe the sneaky Moat Thief is worth exploring too. Maybe there are more. Normal moat drain from having 2 blockers is disabled. Instead, every second the invader is invading, 1 moat drains directly from your bank to the invader's bank. That's insane. So yeah, Moat Thief is pretty similar to how it used to be in Gambit Prime with a full invader set. So that's awesome. What about Trials and what's next? Fear not, Trials fans. While our main focus for Season 16 is Gambit, we still have some fun changes planned. As we discussed earlier this season, we are going to continue to liberally schedule Capture Zone and Freelance weekends, as well as a few reputation updates coming. For Season 16, we are moving to a schedule of 7 maps for the season, one of which you'll get to decide. Expect a survey to come out in the next few weeks to vote on the final map. We also have some Adept Reward changes coming for Season 17. We'll preview those later in the season. What's next, you may ask? We are still ironing out the details, so don't have anything to share today, not even a lore drop. However, we are planning to make the next 4 seasons a banner year for rituals, and we hope for our Season 17 plans will spark joy for everyone. We hope all the Guardians that love or fear Gambit give the mode another try once the Witch Queen launches. We've really enjoyed playtesting it, and we're going to be listening to your feedback and making adjustments. Final patch note preview. Here's a quick roundup of each of patch notes for next Tuesday. Think of this as a kitchen sink of patch notes, a little bit of everything. Ritual rewards. Starting with the Witch Queen, ritual playlist rewards will be updated to grant ritual-specific gear, weapons, mods, armor, and no longer be granting rewards from the general world pool. I like that already. Engram, Crucible will grant Crucible gear, Vanguard will grant Vanguard gear, and Gambit will grant Gambit gear. Engram focusing is currently only available on Saint 14 and the Drifter for their ritual-specific engrams. World engrams will continue to be granted as major ranks on ritual vendors, just for a little variety. Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard rituals are receiving updated armor rewards for a new expansion release. These share the same base appearance, but have slight differences in decals and coloring to represent each ritual. As we can see here, they look pretty cool, actually. I'm a big fan of that Warlock, or this chest piece right here on the Titan, or Hunter. Wow, I can't say the right thing. And I actually do like these gloves and this. I kind of actually really like that Gambit set. Returning Crucible maps. Eternity and Vostok return to the Crucible on February 22nd, 2022. Let's go, boys. Two Crucible maps. I'll take them, dude. I liked Vostok. I thought it was a pretty good map, and Eternity was pretty solid as well. So I can't wait to play on these again. These are always some of my favorite vanilla D1 maps. So pretty excited to see those come back. Eververse, no changes. Wait, what? Seriously? Yeah, there are no systematic changes to the Eververse. There will be new cosmetic items available for Silver and Bright Dust, but no systematic changes to the experience. But what about Bright Dust? Any changes to how players will be earning? There are no changes to Bright Dust acquisition or totals compared to that of Season 15. Players will continue to earn Bright Dust from seasonal challenges, repeatable bounties on specific vendors, and through the Battle Pass. Please note, the week brings the final drop of 700 Bright Dust in celebration of our 30th anniversary. Make sure to redeem this offer in the Eververse storefront before it's gone. Pictured new Universal Armor Ornament sets available through Eververse starting on February 22nd. These look absolutely insane. I'm a really big fan of how that Hunter looks. The Warlock looks, the helmets, whatever. I really like the chest piece though. Titan, same kind of concept. I actually am probably going to pick this up for all my characters. I am a big fan of how, especially that Hunter, like that helmet looks so good. So I'm really excited to run that. Season Pass changes. High stat seasonal armor has been reintroduced. Individual pieces are awarded between ranks 57 and 87. Legendary engrams have been replaced with focused umbral engrams, 5 in total, each focused on a different armor piece: arms, legs, chest, class, and head. All umbral engrams are tier 2. The Season Pass emblem has been removed. We have introduced a Season Pass Sparrow. Let's go. The Season Pass Scrounger bonuses which increase seasonal weapon / armor drop chances in ritual activities, have been overhauled. The weapon Scrounger, I feel like I'm mispronouncing that, but whatever. Bonuses are no longer separated by weapon type or ritual activity. They now apply to both Season Pass legendary weapons and all activities at once. 2-weapon Scrounger, that cannot be the right word. Scrounger? I don't know. Bonuses instead of 6. The first bonus grants the player a small chance to receive the weapons from ritual activities. The second bonus gives an improved chance. Total drop chance is unchanged from previous seasons. The armor Scrounger bonuses are no longer separated by ritual activity. It now applies to all activities at once. one armor Scrounger bonus instead of 3. Like the weapon, the total drop chance for each wet armor piece is unchanged. Aside from the emblem, no items have been removed from the Season Pass, only added. A number of rewards, such as Glimmer and Legendary Shards, have been consolidated to make room for high stat armor. A small amount of upgrade modules have been added. The order some rewards are acquired has been attuned to accommodate the future changes. Shattered Throne Thrallway fixed an issue where Shadow Thrall and the Shattered Throne were unintentionally granting investment rewards such as Glimmer Engrams and XP. As players began to craft weapons and level up their Season Pass on February 22nd, we want to ensure gameplay rewards are earned by playing and completing activities, bounties, or just hanging out with friends and patrols while defeating minions of the darkness. Rip Thrallway for all of our AFK needs. Rest in peace. You probably can still farm catalysts there. I don't see why not, but that's something that has been yet to see. Boss stomps. Adjust the physics knockback for boss stomps. This should result in fewer deaths from being knocked into objects. Next week, we'll give you a full roundup of patch notes available for you to read through. Time is currently to be determined, but our goal is to give you some light reading before launch. Steel Series Destiny Collection. Earlier this week, we announced a few collaboration with Steel Series. If you're looking for some new gaming peripherals, we've got just this thing for you. But now, don't worry, you don't need to be a PvP legend to take advantage of these. Sometimes you just want a cool-looking headset, mouse, or mousepad to use while jamming or on homework, or doing some work from school or work from home. Yeah, I was actually thinking about buying all this, but it's like $200 altogether, and I was like, no, thank you. So yeah, long live the Queen. Twitch subscription bounty. Back when the 30th anniversary pack went live, we introduced a new Twitch subscription bounty emblem for players to earn. It's been wonderful seeing so many, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, emblems and post-game credit reports and Crucible lobbies. Don't know what a Twitch bounty is? Head over here. All the details on the Twitch. Yeah, and here's the new bounty. This can be collected from Anna Holiday in the tower once available. Link your shit. Yeah. Okay. Get out of my swamp. Looking for preload timelines or general expansion launch support. Destiny player support is on tap to go. Yeah, whatever. So this is the release date. This is how it is. It's what we're doing. So I'd imagine this is 11, I think. I think this is 11 my time because it'll be playable. And then at 12 my time, I'm actually not certain on this, but I will figure that out later. So make sure night prior at like whatever time it is for you this time. I don't know all the things, so I'm not going to try to decode them for you. Sorry. But make sure to preload the update. Must be done so that we can get right in. Try to beat that queue. We're trying to beat the queue. Just saying. Players using the PS4 of Destiny 2 will be required to download all associated Destiny 2 required content before playing the Witch Queen. These can be downloaded by launching Destiny 2. Yeah. Exorcism. Earlier this week, the Exorcism final seasonal mission of Season of Lost was released. We are now continuing to investigate issues with completing the Exorcism mission and encourage players who observe issues during the activity to report them to our hashtag help forum. We already went over this in the top. We're just going to keep going. Wayfinder's Compass rotation listed here. Last chance for your Bungie rewards, so make sure you climb them. Twitch gives subs bounty rewards. Same difference. They're going to be updated. Weapon cycling / year 4 content vaulting. Known issues. Nothing really out of the ordinary here. Here we have our movies of the week. As you can see here. Art of the week. Very nice. Very nice. And soon. I was thinking the other day, many of us have been here for nearly 16 seasons of Destiny 2 content, and even more of that space magic goodness if you turn back the clock to the launch of Destiny 1. Even after so much time, the feeling of a Destiny release is like no other. The promise of a new loot always drives more excitement, but it's the wonder and mystery of it all that truly resonates. Moments of discovery are potent. Sometimes it's easier to recite the first encounters with the crazy boss, or the moment a god roll dropped into your hands. that it is to remember a sibling's birthday. We've excited to hear about your upcoming journeys through the campaign. We've excited to watch as you craft your first weapon. We can't wait to hear people scream in terror while attempting to revive a teammate during a legendary mission. Just a few more days left, and it will all be in your hands. Thank you for playing, and cheers for being one of the best communities on this planet. Much love, and see you Starside DMG. Okay, boys, that is the TWAB. Very lengthy, but I think overall they actually kind of fixed Gambit for me. I think Gambit is going to be a lot better since these changes. It definitely seems that way. It definitely sounds that way, which I'm really excited about. Because I remember when Forsaken first dropped, like I reset in Gambit. I think in probably 2 weeks, like less than. It was one like play session, but it was like 12 hours. Like I just played Gambit from all day. So I really am excited to see what they're adding to Gambit, weapons, all that kind of stuff. Maybe they'll bring spare rations back. Fingers crossed. But if you like the TWAB, let me know in the comments. Leave a like on this video and consider a subscription to the channel. It helps us make more content and grow. But that's all the time I got for today, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.